Hey guys, what's up? Lone Berserker here, and this is going to be the cover of the next 100 turns of our campaign. Not next, but we just hit 100 turns in our head-to-head campaign, so I thought I'd do another update on it. I do have more battles coming out that are actually really cool. So, I guess I'll just do what I did last time. So obviously we'll probably focus mainly on my side, which I have expanded greatly, to say the least. Where I expanded probably wasn't the best decision, but that's beside the point, so let's get into it. So, obviously, I start off in Amasaya, and I am going to be going from the beginning. And obviously, later on, when the head-to-head is done, I will probably do a more in-detailed cover of it. So, in Amasaya, I start off, I declare war on Armenia. Or no, Armenia declares war on me. I wanted to ally with them, but they rejected me, like most women. Now, I take my army and bring it through here, attack this settlement, liberate it, attack this one, liberate it, attack this one, sack, and then liberate, which I wish I sacked all of them. Sadly, I didn't. I only sacked that one. And then I leave Armenia and circle back into my capital. That was overall about 5-6 turns, maybe 7 at the most. And it was a very good start. So now I have a border of alliances fighting Armenia, and they do pretty well. It's very back and forth, but they do end up succeeding. Next, I turn my attention to the Galatians and Cappadocians, which are at war with me. I lead my army through the worst possible part of Cappadocia, but that's fine. I go through these mountains here, very slow, defeat their army, get to Cappadocia, and the Galatians took it. They liberated it, by the way. I was absolutely freaking furious at this, and decided that I had enough of these Galatians, even though I had paid them to help me. I was done. I declare war on their ally, they join in, and I defeat their ally right here, and then retreat out of Cappadocia. I think I looted the settlement or something like that, or sacked it, or maybe I subjugated, one or the other. I did something there. I think I subjugated. Yeah, I subjugated, and now they're my ally. The next turn, I escape back to Pontus. Galatia takes it back. That was actually what I wanted them to do. So then their army goes this way and disappears. I have no clue where their full stack went. I take this as an opportunity, slip back through the mountains, and occupy the settlement. Then I fight, a few turns later, I fight another battle here, like this exact spot, when Sinope comes in and takes the settlement. I was furious. I hated it. So now I had a dilemma. Do I betray Sinope, or do I stay as their ally? Now I had a better opportunity. Bithynia was Sinope's ally, and Bithynia betrayed them, took this settlement, went this way, declared war on Lydia, and took their settlement. Bithynia just went crazy, by the way. They went nuts. So I see another opportunity. I send my general up north, grab Ankara, slip down south, and take the settlement. Now I've got 3 out of 4 towns in the province of Bithynia, not Bithynia, Galatia and Cappadocia. Next, Sinope moves their army this way, and I decided to, let's just say, put a knife in the back of a friend. Go this way and take their capital. I am not ashamed of what I did, by the way. They deserved it. Later on, they do take Nicomedia. I decide to fight them there with 2 armies I had. Trying to remember this. Oh yeah, so I go and besiege the settlement. It was a failed attack. I lost 400, inflicted like the same amount. It was very close, actually. But yeah, I didn't want to continue to siege the settlement with 2 ladders, and that was all, so I retreated. One army goes this way, one army goes that way. This army's trapped on a hill and dies. That was my king, Ariobarzanes, sadly. But I come back a few turns later and take the settlement. So that, for an empire, very quickly gives me this. About here. So about this. Not bad, kind of weird looking, but it was lucrative because I did have 2 ports now with 2 walled cities, and I did have the, I think, copper mines in Cappadocia. That was very useful. I was able to get the shield upgrade. Next, I gotta figure out what I did next here. Okay, I remember. I declared war on the Seleucid Empire, joining in with one of my allies. And I go south, take Tarsus, go further south, and take Antioch, which was undefended. I was gonna stop there, but I'm like, why? Why would I stop there? And I decided to go further south and take Thapsacos. That gives me almost all of Syria. And this sort of puts me in a position where I'm allied with Egypt, but I thought, you know, why... Let's keep Egypt as an ally, because they're very big, and let's betray my allies. I'd betray the faction called Commagene, and take their one settlement that I wanted, which was here. My allies go further into Armenia and take their settlements. Atropatkan comes up from the south and grabs the other 2. Commagene was dead within like 5 turns, by the way. They didn't last long at all against my horde of allies, and now I have the most important province in my kingdom. More important than mine, like my home province. And that's Syria. Look at this. This province, guys, right now, as we speak, I'm making 8,000 denarii per turn from it. Now, to expand my kingdom, I decide to confederate with the Mosiniki, which were a faction liberated here. They decided to confederate with me, so I was able to get Trapezos, which later on I'm going to use to the utmost importance. And so now I've got, you know, a pretty nice kingdom. I mean, I'm rich right now. I got some nice armies. But I don't want to stop. I do not want to stop. Now, the situation with my allies is, sadly, they did liberate Colchis, which I wanted. And there is like this Grand Barbarian Alliance in Caucasia right now. Next, I have the allies, I would say, about here. And yeah, my ally did take Seleucia, by the way, which was freaking awesome. Next, this entire time, I'm going to try to provide some detail. This entire time, I was sending out diplomats. And one of them, it paid off perfectly. And my ally gave me Edessa. And I thought that was awesome. That's a very rich settlement, too. It's not the best. I would much rather have Seleucia. But if my ally wants that, then yeah, go ahead and have it. It's perfect. So next I still have Egypt as my ally. I've got these guys over here as my ally. Not wanting them to be my ally, but my enemy allied with them, so I can't really go to war. Next, this is controversial as hell as to what I do, but I decided to do it because I had nowhere else to go. My best general, I give him a full stack. It's very good. It's my best army. I put him on a fleet and send him north. Guys, you want to know what happened? He besieged the town and got stuck between 4 small armies in the garrison and was annihilated. The entire army died, including my general. I was furious. I didn't think I was going to need more than 1 stack, but I realized I did. So I gathered 2 armies near Sinope. They're freaking great, by the way. I send them this way. God, I think this must have been 15 turns, by the way. I go up. Oh, God. I go up. Not that far, but I get up here, go down this road, take this town in a pretty easy battle. There was only just a small garrison. Go south and siege Panathinaikon. Now, you watched that siege happen, so you know already what happens. At least it's on my channel if you want to watch it. I'll have a link in the description for it. So that gives me these 2 walled settlements, but I wanted more. I wanted all of Sarmatia. So what do? I take those 2 armies, come from the Crimea, take this settlement, go north, and take this one. Now, I am going to upload another battle here, and it was the battle that took place, I think, right here, and it's a full horse archer army versus 2 of my armies. I did win, but I got plucked to death, basically. Now, I add on to my empire. Sadly, I didn't get Phanagoria or Tanis, but that's alright. Where does this province end? I think it's over here. I add this onto my empire. Now, obviously, you're probably calling me crazy for doing this, but you have to take into consideration I'm able to recruit horse archers now. Which, for me, that's a very important unit because I don't really have any archers or slingers. I've been just using Sparabara, which have 4 arrows, and if I have any upgrades, they get a few more. They're good. They're great, actually. They're one of my favorite units in the game. They're so cool. But they definitely can be difficult to suppress enemy archers because they don't have the range nor the... they don't do as much damage, basically. So that was how I got here. Now, this was in 100 turns. In my opinion, that's pretty good. I opportunistically crushed the Seleucids and marched straight up through snowstorms. One of my armies got lost. Like, he got the freaking event where you get lost and you lose 50% movement. So he was stuck here while one of my armies was besieging the town. So it was hell going up there. And of course, sadly, like I said, I didn't get Tanis or Phanagoria, but at least they are my allies. I don't like them, but I really don't want to kill any more of my allies. Like, I do want Colchis and the rest of the Bosphorus, but I'm not going to kill my allies for it. And on top of that, by the way, the war in Scythia for my allies is going great because now they've liberated these 2 towns. So the Scythians up here and here are completely blocked. Now you're probably... I'm going to get some people egging me on to do this. You probably want me to march an army through here and up into these 2 cities now. There's a fun fact. I played as the Bosphorus in DEI once, and I did that. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that. I marched up here and liberated this town. It was hilarious. It took freaking forever, but it was awesome. So now, my next target, which is probably insane to most of you, seems insane, is actually Rhodes. I'm not going to give away why I want this island, but that is my next target. No one's allied with them. I just broke my trade and non-aggression pact. They're my next target. And I'm not even going to try to hide it. So now I have, at the moment, and I, by the way, just for any of you wondering, I am, like, sort of sick. I have a very sore throat, so that's why I sound weird. So for the moment, my armies are just kind of hanging out and waiting. They need a freaking break. And one of my armies, by the way, did... I hopped him on a ship and sent him down this way back to Sinope, and he did bring some horse archers and Scythian units with him, so those will be useful for the fight against the Ptolemies. So now we'll go to Macedon. So my opponent starts off in his capital of Pella, marches north like immediately, and smacks these barbarians and liberates them. Next, he goes south and takes Larissa. Then he goes, I'm trying to remember. Obviously I don't have his side. I can't really tell you exactly what he did, but I'm just going off what I remember. He goes this way to fight the Thracians, and his king, and possibly his heir, I don't really know who the guy was. They have a battle, and he loses almost his entire army, but he wins. But he took a freaking beating. Now he is in his territory, so he's able to replenish. And after this battle, there was another one, I think in the same area, like roughly here, where the same thing happens, and he almost loses his king. After that, he essentially liberates all of Thrace. So, our borders are touching right now, by the way, up north. So he owns this. Or his allies own this more. So this is basically the start of his Grand Barbarian Alliance, which he always does this. I would occupy Thrace if I were him, but I guess, I sort of did the same thing on Armenia, where I didn't keep Armenia. Next, what does he do? Oh yeah, he didn't take these. They stayed allied, or they stayed on his side, Athens and Sparta. So he goes to war with Rome, and he has a great success at the start, where he takes over Apollonia. I thought he was utterly insane, by the way, doing this. Now, before he continues on, he just goes into the Illyrians, and we were fighting some major barbarian battles here. He goes in, and he liberates all of this. Now, this is smart. Illyria, as a province, what I've come to figure out, sucks. Like, you would think it'd be nice, but I did an Illyrian campaign on my channel, and it sucked keeping this province. Like, I wish I could have left it because of how bad it was. It's not good at all. So he goes into Italy, and this was smart because he needed to replenish his armies and he needed a strong ally. So he liberated Taurus, and then goes south, liberates Consentia, goes north and liberates Beneventum. Now near Consentia, we had a huge battle. The Romans lose it, but he took a lot of casualties. And so to this day, I guess you could say, this province has stayed his ally, and I think he is going to keep it forever. I strongly disagree, because now you don't get the Apulian Extraordinarii, and you don't get the other cool Italian units. Now up north, he takes out all of Italy with a few battles, not many. He also takes, well, I say not many, that's not true. There were a lot of ridiculous battles that we had to fight. He also took this province. He's at war with the Veneti right now, and he does want all of northern Italy. So I'll just draw it like this. So he owns this. Now, what happens next is kind of stupid in my opinion. Carthage declares war on Egypt. Egypt owns, like, all of this. You get the idea. I'm not going into detail, but they own like this. They obviously own their two settlements here. Now, God almighty, I apologize for the birds in the background. He goes to Sicily next. We fight at Syracuse, the game crashes, but we're like, whatever, we'll just auto-resolve it. It doesn't really matter. He gets quickly, very quickly by the way, he takes all this, and he gets the crossbows at Syracuse. Like the really cool looking crossbow units. They are fun. Now next, he goes to Carthage. And takes that. The reason he did that, by the way, was to stop Egypt from taking the towns. Taking Carthage, because he couldn't allow them to do that. He fights a major battle here, I think, and then another major battle here. Roughly those areas, you get the idea. He beats the Basazili and takes this town right here of Curthan. That's essentially where we end. That's not true, actually. Okay, don't read that. So, oh my god. Those are my lovely friends, by the way. So, next, he unleashes his horde of barbarians up north. And they end up, I think, from what I know, they end up taking roughly this. Like, I'm so sorry. So, roughly that. And they're still battling up there. So look, our empires are sort of like the complete opposite. He has his allies as a bulwark to fight against me. I have my allies to protect my rear. Obviously, you know, those are another controversial topic, but my allies have been doing very good at doing that. Now, there is a problem, though. There's a faction, guys, back here called Atropatkan. From what I can tell, I don't even know how you would do this like this. This is what they own. They don't like me very much. I don't know why. So I would like this settlement, this one, this one, and this one. They don't like me at all. I really don't know how to go about this. Like, I'm literally looking at roads, and they're my target. Like, I'm fixated on taking them out. But I have this juggernaut of a Persian faction breathing down my neck right now, and they do have a border with me. Technically, right here, they could just slip in and take the town. But I have plans for them. I think, at least. My allies are going to deal with them right now. I'll be going in next. They're not at war with me, though. We are trading. They won't accept the non-aggression pact, which scares me. Now, there is another thing, which I find very funny, what we have planned. So, Egypt, at the time, right now, owns from here all of this territory. Then they own the... Why did I do that? This... So they own all of this. Now, obviously, like, that's like... This is the strongest empire in the East right now. Neither of us could take them on. So the plan is, we're both allied with them. I don't mind them being on my border, but my enemy over here is absolutely terrified of them. So we have agreed that the way we're going to do this... They also have their 2 settlements here. The way we're going to do this is I'm going to come from the north. The east. He's going to come from the west. My plan, after I deal with Rhodes, by the way, my plan is to have 2 fleets. One coming out from the Black Sea, one docked at Rhodes, so they'll sort of come out like this. Beeline it down to Alexandria, and bait either armies or fleets out. If I can get a few armies killed in the transport battles, that's perfect. Fleets, same thing. After that, I'm going to send one of them, after I know like the coast is clear, down the Nile River and start raiding. So that is my plan for the fleets. Next, we've already partitioned the boards. Like, we already know what we want to take. I want this. I want Side. I want Cyprus. And I want up to Jerusalem. So here. And you're probably thinking that's very lackluster. Because, like, what? He's going to get all of this up to Alexandria? Yeah, basically. Because I can't defend Alexandria. My borders are already stretched. I mean, I'm all the way up there. I'm all the way down here. How much further am I going to go? I don't want anything past Palmyra and Jerusalem. And Nabatea are my allies. So really, why would I go to Alexandria? I don't want that province. That's difficult to defend. I don't really care about it, to be honest. Because I have Antioch, and I'm fine with Antioch. And if I have Rhodes, Cyprus, and Side, who has the sea power? Obviously, it's me. So I see no point in taking Alexandria. I don't want it. I think it's a good settlement. It's rich. Obviously, you get the lighthouse. But frig, let him have the pyramids and lighthouse. I'm going to have the Colossus of Rhodes. Demetrius Poliarchetes will be put to shame. But yeah, that's basically all. Now, the plan to take Rhodes is difficult because they do have 2 full stacks, guys, plus there's 16 garrisons, so pretty sure nobody has ever taken Rhodes on and won in a battle, at least not that I remember. Obviously, they were client-stated by Rome. But yeah, they're my next target. I'm raiding them right now, actually, which is kind of funny. So really, I think that's it. Now, the only problem is with partitioning Egypt is... I'll just use this color. Sparta's allied with them. So now, like, Sparta has 2 full stacks, by the way. So if we partition Egypt, Sparta's going to go right to Athens and into Macedonia. So he has a problem to deal with. I'm fine. I think I'm fine. I have Syrian freaking war elephants, and soon I'm going to have chariots. Now, the chariots, God... I used them in our last campaign. They suck, man. The chariots in DEI suck. But the reason I'm doing it is just because I think it's cool to have both elephants and chariots in the same army. I also have horse archers, so I think that's pretty cool. But I'm pretty sure that's the limits of our territory. And I'm pretty sure that's every major faction in the game. At least that are important. Oh, there is one more. There's a huge Germanic faction, which obviously is scaring me, but he can't see it, because he's kind of far away. Huge Germanic faction that owns all of this. The Germans in this game, by the way, are strong. Their units pack a punch. That's all I'm going to say. So that, and they don't like me. They absolutely hate me. So it's sort of like a world war is going on here. We got 4 major factions, and we're all just like, who's going to make the first move, basically. So yeah, the plan is to partition Egypt, split the territory, then knock each other out. This is going to be a great campaign, guys, though. It's like we're setting the stage for it. It sort of reminds me, honestly, of the Wars of the Diadochi. Because, you know, we're partitioning Egypt. Egypt's the strongest. Historically, they did that to the Antigonids. They also did it to the Macedonians. So, and then they, like, they would ally with each other for, like, a year, kill one of them, kill one of the other factions, and then turn on each other in the next year. That's basically what we're gonna do here. I don't see anything going good. Oh, wait, actually, one last thing. I think this is freaking hilarious. So while my opponent was taking, I think it was this town, he ran his king, Antigonus, over Caltrops, and out of the 3 units that die, his king was one of them. It was dirty of me to put Caltrops down, but it was also hilarious. I was losing it when I saw his king die to Caltrops. And it was only 3 guys that ended up dying. And this was an elite bodyguard. Like, these guys had campaigned everywhere. The king had almost triple gold experience. So him losing that was a massive blow. And now, my king, I can't even remember his name. It's some weird thing. He actually hasn't been present on any of these battlefields. I have stopped using my king in battles. I'm taking the Persian side of things now instead of the Greek, I guess you could say. I have my generals doing all the work. Well, I'm pretty sure that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I will have a new battle. I think it'll be the Horse Archer one, I think, up north. It's very frustrating to have fought that battle. But yeah, that'll be the next one. And then we'll have some awesome African ones coming up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you later.